Picture a Tuesday night. A teacher opens her inbox and finds a 3-paragraph message from a parent about a minor grade on a math quiz. Her stomach tightens, and she spends 20 minutes typing a careful, defensive reply. By Thursday, 3 more emails have gone back and forth. A phone call is scheduled, and they are essentially fighting over tone. This animation illustrates the dynamic of the parent email spiral. The first email is small and specific, but every time the teacher attempts to over-explain, over-apologize, or over-defend, the issue gathers mass. By the 4th or 5th reply, the original point is lost. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the severe psychological limits of text-based communication. The reader's brain is processing the message with a complete absence of vocal tone and facial cues. It is exactly like conducting a serious argument through sticky notes left on a kitchen counter. When human psychology is deprived of those physical signals, it defaults to the worst-case scenario. Because the parent cannot hear the teacher's actual voice, their brain automatically assigns the most hostile, aggressive tone possible to the written words. Faced with this tension, teachers typically treat every anxious email as a unique crisis. They spend their personal evening hours improvising highly crafted custom responses, trying to anticipate and neutralize every possible complaint. The email spiral isn't a problem of vocabulary, but of mechanics. To break it, you have to move past improvising and follow a specific sequential order. The fix comes directly from protocols used by crisis negotiators and customer service experts. It is a strict 3-step communication sequence that removes the need to improvise under stress. Step 1 is to name the feeling first. The very first sentence of the reply must explicitly acknowledge the parent's emotional state, like noting that a grade caught them off guard, before offering any defense, facts, or school policy. Our brains process messages through 2 pathways, a pulsing red emotional signal and a solid blue factual line. The emotional signal must clear first. If blue attempts to bypass red, the brain rejects the facts as tone-deaf, triggering defensive escalation. Think of the parent's message as a thrown emotional object. Ducking out of the way fails. Explicitly naming the emotion is catching it cleanly. Naming the emotion is more than just a courtesy. It's a functional step that allows the rest of the message to be heard. Once the emotion clears, step 2 is to give exactly one concrete action. The reply must outline a single specific next step, tied to a precise timeline. Like a vague flight delay, an open-ended promise creates an anxiety void filled with worst-case scenarios. Dropping a precise time marker into that gap eliminates the void, instantly calming the unrest. Step 3 is to offer a phone call, but only if the parent still wants one. Because the emotion has already been named and the action taken, the call is framed as an optional courtesy rather than a sign of crisis. Scrambling these steps to offer the phone call first triggers a known sequencing trap. Offering immediate help acts as an alarming signal, suggesting to the parent that the situation is more serious than they initially thought. De-escalation succeeds because of the rigid order: emotion, action, boundary. Scrambling the steps breaks the system and often leads back to the spiral. This sequence is especially critical during the first 2 to 3 weeks of a new school year. This window produces a high volume of difficult emails because baseline trust between a parent and a new teacher hasn't been established yet. This gauge represents the trust thermostat. Early replies set the baseline. A defensive response settles the gauge low, triggering anxious emails all spring. But utilizing the 3-step sequence early settles it high, training parents to trust the process, stopping escalation. Implementing this system protects the teacher's cognitive load. Within a school community, handling conflict with genuine warmth and clear boundaries models exactly the kind of balance schools aim to value. Locking in this 4-minute sequence in September does more than just resolve a simple question about a quiz. It buys back evenings and peace of mind that can last all the way through May.